People that have gluten allergies or gluten aversions find some sweet treats that they would never know were gluten-free. So let's take a look. The newest bakery in Williamsville has people asking, is this really gluten-free? It's Simply Sweet, so join us as we find out what it takes to run a gluten-free bakery.
I originally started this business in my home over a year ago and then opened the bakery in May of this year, and it's been doing great. People have been coming in, the celiac community, there's some great support groups. They've been very supportive in spreading the word.
Like most great ideas, Simply Sweet of Western New York stemmed from a problem to tackle. In this case, it was owner Cindy Slamovic's celiac disease diagnosis, a disease which causes an immune reaction to eating gluten, a protein that can be found in wheat, barley, and rye.
The first time I went to the grocery store and when I was diagnosed and did some shopping and bought some of the things that were out there, and I came home and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have this bagel because I haven't had a bagel in like forever. And I was like, it was the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life. So I was like, okay, I have to figure this out because, you know, if most families, their get-togethers revolve around food.
Something Cindy was not going to give up.
I don't want to sacrifice giving up, you know, eating the kuchen that my, grandmother brought over every Christmas morning. Like, what am I going to eat? I'm going to eat this nasty-looking cookie that was marked gluten-free. So I thought, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And I just started researching. There's a ton of information on the internet, and I started testing different flours, mixing my own, maybe trying some pre-made ones. And I guess that aha moment was when everybody was eating it and nobody realized it was gluten-free because they didn't know. I didn't tell them.
Flash forward to Simply Sweet of Western New York, a completely gluten-free bakery.
And it's been great. The community's been great. We've had, a lot of people just walking by and, this is great. Thank you for opening this place. You don't know how hard it is. We've been looking for items.
Since May of this year, Simply Sweet has offered a wide selection of baked goods.
My brownies, I have been told are the best thing they've ever eaten, gluten-free or not. They are a chocolate fudgy, cakey, delicious brownie. Cookies, I do cookies, I do cakes, I do pies, coffee cakes, cheesecakes. Just about anything I can recreate gluten-free as far as a dessert is concerned.
For those whose diet requires restrictions, like gluten-free, having a selection to choose from isn't always available.
I had a woman in here, a customer that was gluten-free for 20 years, and she actually started to cry. She's like, oh my God, I've never had such a choice. And that is a big thing because there are other bakeries that have a gluten-free items, and there's like one or two, and I'm entirely gluten-free. This is a gluten-free facility, and people have a choice. They can have a muffin, they can have a piece of cake, they can have a brownie, they can have a cookie. It's not just whatever that bakery has for the day. So that means a lot to me.
And you're seeing in some of that footage that they also have found other gluten-free options from Western New York, from jams to buns to pasta that you can enjoy. And so if you go in there, it's not just gluten-free desserts. They also have sort of rallied the gluten-free troops to offer people a wider selection. And I have to say, I brought a whole box of gluten-free treats back to the station, and I don't think anyone even knew that they were gluten-free. They were just delicious.
They did not last long. The coconut macaroons would be my recommendation. Delicious. Absolutely so delicious.
And one of the interesting things I found out there was something like a coconut macaroon is naturally gluten-free, so they don't really have to do anything to make it in the bakery, whereas some of the brownies and the muffins, they have to take out that flour, so then they have to replace it with like a rice flour or another kind of flour to make it gluten-free. So there's both naturally gluten-free desserts and gluten-free by hand desserts kind of thing. Very cool. For more information, you can head over to simplysweetwny.com. They're right in Williamsville, right next to our friends at Sweet Jenny's. So you say hello to both of them if you stop by the area.
Absolutely, and hello to both of them this morning if they're watching. Let's send it over to Emily Lenahan now. She's standing by.